Right, guys, back again. Bit different this time. Not UFC video. It's going to be a Cage Warriors 183 predictions, and I'm just going to talk you through what I'm looking at, putting a bet on. Just a bit of an acca or parlay, as you like to call it. So, main event is Gittins versus Giordano, which is going to be good, but we'll get to that. Usually with the Cage Warriors, after the American one, the Italian ones are probably my least favourite, just because I'm not as familiar with the Italians as I am with the other Europeans, like when it's in England and stuff like that. Um, so I'm not going to go through the whole card because there's a lot of these early fights where it's just a bit too unpredictable. There's not enough information to go off really to make a good um, assessment of it. So I'll take you to. I'm sure that some of these will be good fights though. Like I say, Cage Warriors. I find the cards more entertaining a lot of the time than UFC's. To be honest, it's probably my favourite promotion to watch. Um, so first fight I'm looking at betting on is the Machete versus Salvador fight. Now, Salvador, I've watched some of his fights, and he's not that great. His record's not really good. Yeah, he's not brilliant, and I just think he's very beatable. He's very beatable. He had his last win against this Indonesian guy who's doing that MMA academy thing with Cage Warriors in America, but none of them look too good to be honest. And he's gone on a bit of a skid after that as well, so I don't think that's the greatest win. And then before that, he's had a lot of losses. Some against good guys like Scott Pedersen, he's good, and yeah, I imagine some of the others are really good as well. But he's fighting the Italian in his own town, and the Italian's not great either. He's got 2-2 record, but I just see there's more potential, and the odds are all right for it as well. That's the main thing. A lot of the like the other fights, I'm not betting on. It's because the odds are just not good enough. I think this guy should get the win, and the odds are decent enough to put him on. So yeah, that's who we're gonna go with on this one. We're gonna go Machete. So moving on to the next fight, a bit further up the card now. I was looking at putting on as well Adam Shelley as an underdog against Simone Patrizi, but I think he could get the decision, Shelley. But he also could get chinned by Patrizi because he got knocked out in his last fight, and Patrizi's got some power. Even though I think most likely, Shelley's probably going to win it, and I was looking at putting it on, but I just thought I'd negate a bit of the risk and just leave it off. But it's always an option. I think Adam Shelley could win that fight unanimous decision, or even catch Patrizi because he's been knocked out before. Patrizi's lost 2 fights to the champion Gurleen, and then he lost another fight as well. He got finished in that one by the guy who's fighting Gurleen on this card. That was a nice right hook as well. I was watching that before. So yeah, I think Shelley could win the decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if he got caught late. So I think I might just leave that one off. So next fight I'm looking at betting on, it's going to be Aiden Lee versus Giuseppe, and I think I'm going to go with Aiden Lee, who's like, he's an underdog. He's almost 2-1 underdog. Even though he's 6-0, Giuseppe, he's not fought no one near the level of Aiden Lee. And I think Aiden Lee's record doesn't do him justice. He's 12-9, but he's fought some absolute killers when he was in Bellator. He's fought, and even his last fight, he got screwed a bit in the grappling against this Conrad, but Conrad is a good grappler, like a pure grappler as well. And Giuseppe's not going to be that, and I think Aiden Lee's going to have the grappling advantage as well in that fight, and he's going to be a bit taller, and I think he'll have the striking. He should be able to catch him as well in the end of the range. So yeah, I think even though he's 12-9, his record really doesn't do him justice. You know what I mean? Look, lost to Aaron Pico, Henry Corrales, Saul, one of my good mates. Yeah, and then just other guys are really good. And I think he's only 29. He's training with the top level with like at Renegade, and I think he can get this done. So I'm going to pick Aidan Lee. If he does lose this one, then my opinion is going to change going forward with like future bets and stuff like that. Because I think he should just be a level above Giuseppe. But yeah, we'll see. So that's going to be my first pick, my second pick even. Next fight is Pajani versus Konstantinu Natellis. And I'm going to go with Pajani on this one. He's 7-1. His one loss has come to Mason Jones, who's a really good fighter, just re-signed back with the UFC. He's beat James Power, who's a really good fighter as well, and he's had some good wins. So, yeah, I think he's really good. So this is the guy who beat Patrizi. Sorry, I thought he was fighting Gurley next. So he looks massive. This guy, to be fair, he looked like he'd been on gear or something like that as well. For some reason, I thought it was the other guy. Anyway, I still think I'm going to go with Pajani because I just think he's fought the better guys and he just beat them as well. And this guy lost to that Jan Cohagens and he's alright, but yeah, I think Pajani's on this guy's level, so I'm still going to stick with it. I'm going to go Pajani on that one. However you pronounce it. Next fight, Dylan Hazan versus Luopoli. Pretty straightforward on this. I think Dylan Hazan's really good. Wrestling heavy, keeps the pressure on, and he's a bit of a dog, and he'll just keep going. Had a couple of losses, but I think it was up in weight as well. Well, the Colin Loughran one definitely was. I think Malcolm Paul might be a flyweight, but he's really good. Yeah, he's a flyweight, but he's really good. I rate him. He's coming off a good win as well over Tom Creasy, wasn't it, in his last fight? Yeah. So you can't knock him for that one, and I think he's had some good wins. He was again against Scott Malone, Ramison Bruno. I remember some of these fights, Josh Reed, and that was up in weight as well. And I just think, yeah, he should beat Luopoli. I can't see him having too much trouble with him, to be honest. I think that one's a pretty straightforward pick. Next fight, we've got Simone Diana versus Gianluca Scottoli. Now, Scottoli looks like he's coming up in weight for this fight, but it doesn't mean too much because Simone Diana used to fight at bantamweight as well. But I just think his last few fights have been at featherweight, or at least his last one, which was against Jordan Vicenic. Now, you can't knock him for losing that fight. Vicenic is a great fighter, isn't he? And he's had some good wins before that. Yeah, losses against really good guys as well. This guy is the KSW champion at the minute, this Jakub. And then Michel Martignoni as well, really good. Must have got caught cold though, 6 seconds in. He's beat Tom Creasy in the past before. Yeah, he's had some good wins. And he's 29. Yeah, he's been around a long time. But so is his opponent. I was surprised when I was looking at his record before. Scottoli, he was fighting back in 2011 pro. Then he had a big break and come back after like 9 years. And he's had some alright wins. And lost his last fight to Aiden Stephen, who's a really good fighter as well. But other than that fight, I would say... Oh, and Sam Kelly's alright as well. Other than them two last fights, I'd say Diana's probably fought the tougher guys, especially in his last fight. Coming off the fight with Vicenic, he's going to feel a lot better for him coming in to this one against his opponent for this weekend. So yeah, with that fight, I'm going to go with Simone Diana. And then the next fight, Belandi versus... I'm not even going to... Kanisauskas Nogales. I don't know that name. Anyway, Belandi is the champion. He's already beat this guy before, unanimous decision in 2023, so not too long ago. I probably should have watched that fight back, to be honest. I didn't. But he's had some other good wins since then. One against Mick Stanton, who's on a tear at the minute. Mick Stanton's doing alright, bit of a resurgence. Won his last two on Octagon. His only losses coming to Will Curry in the pro ranks, who's a good fighter as well. And that was 5 years ago now. And the main thing I'm looking at in this fight is he's beat this guy before. He took him to decision. Seeing what he's got, this guy seems a bit of a finisher. And Belandi's took his shots. He knows what power he's got. He knows where he's dangerous. Could he catch him? Yeah, but I just don't see it. I'm gonna go with Belandi in this one. And then the main event, I took it off the bet. I was gonna go with Gittins, and when I was looking at this, putting the bets on, the odds have changed as I'm putting it on. So he's gone to 1-4, and even though I think Liam Gittins is gonna win, it's fighting in it. Anything can happen. So it's not really worth the extra. I think it was adding an extra 40 quid or something to the bet to put him on. So I thought, just leave it off. Be a good fight anyway. I'll enjoy watching it without betting on it. Gittins, really good fighter, versus Giordano, who's a hell of a fighter as well. It should be an entertaining fight. So yeah, I do think Gittins will win, but I just think it's pointless putting on the bet. So let's have a quick look at who we've got. I'm looking at it on Betway. I've never used Betway before, but that's where they've got the odds at the minute. Usually I'll bet on Virgin, but the odds ain't up yet. I usually put them on the day or the day before. So yeah, this is why I'm using Betway anyway, which is annoying because I tried to sign up before, put my money on to put the bet on when it was a 500 quid return with Gittins, and then saying I need to verify my ID and that, so that's annoying. But anyway, yeah, so a tenner on that. We've got Simone Diana versus Dylan Azan, Pajani, Hayden Lee, Belandi, and Machete. And a tenner on that will get you 170 back. Well, not 155 back. Yeah. So it's not too bad, 150 quid back. And I think not really much risk on it. Probably only risky ones. Well, there's always a risk, isn't there? Because fight could go either way. But the main risky one is Hayden Lee. But I think he should show up. Hopefully he does for himself as well. Because I think he's a lot better than what his record suggests. And yeah, I can see him getting the win now. But yeah. So it's my Cage Warriors 183 picks. I might even do a stream along watching it if I get enough interest in it. It's either that or I was going to stream along Octagon. So we'll see anyway. But yeah, good luck on the weekend with your bets, and see you for that next one.